Hey, this is Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and I'm joined by
Dan Moore from the Hungry and Dangerous.
Okay, so it's great to chat to you. Can you tell us about your band, the name Hungry and the Dangerous, where that came from, and how did you all meet each other?
Sure. The Hungry and Dangerous kind of was a weird scenario how that all worked out. We were actually about a year ago, we were getting ready to put out a single. Me and Matt were working together on a project that I was doing. And essentially it was going to be just under my name. It was just going to be like a solo thing. And we had a good friend of mine who was doing photography for us. He did this art design for the logo or for the single cover. And when we released it, Matt and I started getting all these messages through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. And they just started messages going, hey, we can't wait to hear the new band. We can't wait to hear the new band, this and that. And we're like, what new band? This is just a single. And all of a sudden it just kept happening and kept happening and kept happening. And we're like, it came to a point where Matt and I looked at each other like, I guess we have a band now. This is a band.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Once you get like 120 messages asking like, what's the name of your band? You need to name your band.
So yeah, it kind of just like the fans kind of named the band in a weird way. And Matt and I actually go back a very long time. Actually, we met each other in high school. We were in kind of like a couple of metal bands just playing throughout the New Jersey circuit and stuff like that. And we had kind of lost ties with each other for a little while. He went off to school and I went off to school myself. And that's actually where I ended up meeting Dan. Dan was on his last day of school at Full Sail University where we both went. And it was funny because on your last day of school there, you end up kind of doing like a project, like where do you see yourself in the industry doing what you want to do? And this guy gets up on stage, getting ready to present, I think it was a video game project. Is that right, Dan? It was like a video game thing you were doing. And all of a sudden I see this kid come up with a Green Bay Packers hat and long hair, and he's just blasting like Black Sabbath style rock, AC/DC style rock. And I'm like, okay, I got to know who this guy is, instantly. So after he got off stage, I went right up to him like, okay, we got to be friends because you're a Packers fan, but I also because you're a rock fan. And when little did we know, we were both living in the same complex of each other. And we're like, okay, well, we have to start working together. So then, flash forward to that. Dan and I are actually we were in another project called Suspicious Minds for a little while. And actually it was on our first tour with that band in 2019 where me and Matt actually reconnected at a venue and talking for hours and hours just about music and life. And I had asked Matt, I was like, well, maybe we should work on music in the future. And that's actually how once COVID lockdown had hit, Matt and I kind of reconnected there as well. And that's how this kind of whole band kind of came to be in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, like I did not plan on bumping into him when I did in 2019 because I actually came home that morning from like a 3-week run I did around America. And got home, and then I went on Instagram, and conveniently the first post I see is from Jordan. It's like, hey, we're playing in New Jersey. And I'm like, I just got home. I'm like, first thing I'm going to do after playing 22 shows is go to another show because why not? Live music is the best. And then, I ran into him. It was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And then like 4 hours go by, and he's like, well, I got to go to the airport now. Then during lockdown, like that's like when everything shut down, that's when we really picked up, to be honest with you. That's when everything really started for us.
A lot of bands have like had a lot of good times in lockdown. It's bad to say in a way, but they've like had inspirations and be able to write and be busy. So that's amazing. Can you tell us about the debut album and what can we expect from it then? Is it going to be hard rock, heavy metal, balls to the wall? This cat's killing me.
Good. Yeah, man.
Okay.
I mean, it's the best way we describe this album. I mean, this is just the best way to describe it. It's authentic, balls to the wall, like you just mentioned, rock and roll in its finest form. Like we all grew up on listening, rock and roll music of the yesteryears, even to the modern day stuff. But the one thing that we wanted to really embellish and touch on is just like, because like I feel like rock and roll has become such a loose term in the past 20 years. And a lot of these people come out and say they're rock, and it's like, it's not rock. It's just electric guitar on a beat, and we wanted to go and retrace those authentic roots of rock with this. And you have like, your elements of, 80s hair metal here. You have your elements of like 50s rock. You have, the 70s shred stuff. I mean, there's a little bit of everything for everyone on this album. I don't know if y'all want to tie in on that as well.
Yeah, so the best way I can describe it, and for me, like I went from playing modern metalcore, and then I kind of go back to my roots here, and I think Jordan and Dan would agree here. Like this is where we fell in love with music, and we came back to this style. We really wanted to reconnect with that, and we really wanted to establish that feeling, but at the same time do our own thing and add our own little ingredients to our recipe here.
Yeah,
I think Dan said it best, was what you said a couple weeks ago about this album, about being like the new classic rock or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, it definitely sounds like a new classic rock. It kind of has that vibe of, it just brings us back to what made us love rock and roll when we were kids. Like the first time I heard that open E from TNT by AC/DC, and I was like, what is that? That's my thing. It brings me back to that.
You know how old I was when that was out? 12.
Really?
Seriously.
Oh man.
And it's still
that song never gets old though, man.
Nah, definitely
My
not.
first band was The Who when I was a kid. That was my dad's favorite band, and they tour constantly still. And I'm like, the first time I saw them, they were like 67, 68 years old or something like that. And I'm like, all right, they got to chill out. And then like the third song in, Pete Townsend just takes his guitar and just smashes it like over PA monitor. I'm like, these guys, whoa, they still have the energy 5 years later.
Absolutely.
And that's special. It really is when you still have that.
Okay, there's 2 songs on the album called Summer of '69. Now, is that the cover of the Summer of '69?
Yes, it is. So we actually like
Sacrilege.
So this is cool. So what we did with this, so Summer '69 is a really cool thing. So obviously it's a pop rock song from the 80s. The one thing that we wanted to do with it is we wanted to leave our own signature taste to it. So like when we described it, and we actually just did a video track by track of the album. The one thing that I happened to mention in it was like, hey, yeah, this is like if Megadeth decided to do Summer '69, because the tempo's pushed. There's a lot of kick drums. There's a lot of shredding guitars. So it's definitely, I definitely get the sacrilegious thing, but yeah, we definitely tried to make it our own. And there's actually another version on the album that it's actually with a good friend of ours who actually came and did like a guest vocal spot on it too. So you get the best of both worlds with it.
Cool. Yeah, it's an amazing song. I mean, it's proper like pop rock, but it was charged back then, and I remember it well. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. So what has the feedback been like so far to the tracks that you have released?
Oof. Yeah. So far it has been pretty well received. We our first single came out last year, which was the self-titled. We shot a really cool video for it here in Nashville, Tennessee, and people have just been raving about it. I mean, our fan base is, even though it's still growing and we're still trying to establish it, it really got our foot in the door, and it's how we ended up getting our first deal with Dioptima Records. And we worked with them to really push heavy onto the second single, which was Insomniacs, which came out in about Halloween time last year. And that one has been exploding, if I can say that word.
It really is. I mean, there's a radio station called 95.9 The Rat, which is like a half hour from where I'm at right now. Okay. And I grew up listening to that station, and I'll never forget when Tom Hanley heard it, and I got an email, which I thought was a junk email at first, because, being a musician, you get a lot of stuff that's true and stuff that's not. And then he's like, I'm a real fan of this. And I'm like, okay. So then I got a third email, and a fourth one, I'm like, all right, this guy wants us on the show. So like we went on the radio, and then I think our follower count like almost a little more than doubled in like 3 months or something like that. It was like,
really
wow.
cool about that was that I remember the first night it happened when we got put on radio rotation. It was one of the first nights. It was like we had Insomniacs playing, and then right after it was Who Made Who by AC/DC, which is one of my favorite songs ever. And I just like, it's one of those small little milestones you hit. You're like, wow, this is happening. And yeah, our fan base continues to grow. We dropped a really cool lyric video for it, and that one just recently passed 30K in streams. So I mean, hey, people like it, I guess.
That's really good. That's really good. So thinking about playing live and that, are you planning to hit the road? And would you also be having like a record release party, anything like that?
Yeah, so we're going on a little tour around the summer. It's the 2022 summer road trip. Just to get a taster out there, just for people to hear us, because obviously we've been playing like select shows here and there. But this is a much bigger build to something very big that could be happening next year. But yeah, we're going to be doing an album release party in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It's going to be a really special night. We've got some really cool bands coming on with us, and we're in partnership with 95.9 Rat, hopefully to do something special with that. We are hitting Nashville, New York City, Philadelphia. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun bands, and we have a lot of cool tricks up our sleeves for people who are coming to see us for the first time.
Brilliant. So do you plan, like, hopefully to get abroad and get over to Europe and things like that? Are those sort of...
We want to, man. We really do.
Yeah, we really do.
So we had said this, I think, recently in an interview, is we can't say much, but there is talks.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is talks going on.
That's good to hear, man. Okay. So this is a silly question that my Belgian friend insists I ask every band, okay? So I'm not sure about this one, but if you were an instrument, what would you be?
Oh, shit. That's a
Dan?
Oh, boy. Dan, why don't you go for this one?
Oh, I gotta think. One of you guys go.
I want to be
I'd
a
probably-
stand-up bass.
So, because people can slap you, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
I want to be a stand-up bass. At least I get to be stood up when I get slapped.
Yeah, he likes getting smacked around a bit.
Well, someone said flute to me, and yeah.
I might have to go with the cello. I love the cello.
I honestly,
That would be Matt.
as silly as it sounds, I would love to be a slide whistle.
Okay.
Slide
Really
with
into it.
A slide with Fair enough.
Oh my god. That was good, Matt. That was a good one.
It's like the most subtle little.
Exactly.
Mhm. What instrument would your cat be?
Fuck knows. I don't know. I really don't know. At the moment, a drum, I think, because I beat the no. Yeah,
Most cat owners would probably agree.
Oh my.
yeah, man. Okay, so that question's got to stay in, I think. Then it's a bit amusing.
Yeah, that can be a good one.
So the
That's a
next
good
one. All right, which three people would you leave on a desert island?
I would need on a desert island or leave.
Leave.
Leave them there. Ooh. I'm about to pull out my list.
The entire United
You
States.
get one X only.
I would say, can I pick 3 states?
Yeah, that's hard. I mean,
That's a tough one. Let's go.
Oh man.
California.
political figures.
We're hearing great things about California. So yeah, we're hearing good things about California.
So yeah, we can leave California there. We can leave Alabama there, and maybe Arkansas. Because what the fuck do they do?
And all our ex roommates.
There we go.
Okay. All right, so right, the next one then. Right, I know there's 3. Right, so come on in. Who would you leave on a desert island? What 3 people?
See, if I leave them on the island, turn it into like a Jurassic Park kind of thing, or
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know about political people, like people in my life. I don't know.
Whatever.
I also don't want to say something and then the person sees it and be like, bruh, why am I on a desert island?
They know why. They know why.
They if anything, they should be grateful that you shouted them out.
Not to be seen around the world.
I would have to see one just further clinch that you don't travel with Tom Hanks.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
I don't know.
Bad things tend to
Trying to
happen.
think. What?
Yeah, bad things happen with Tom Hanks. Be talking to a volleyball for 4 years.
you get the sorted outside. Yeah.
At least he had a volleyball.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Right. Okay. Are we still thinking?
Still think.
I guess, yeah, I guess there's a long list we'll have to come back on and read out to you for that one.
Florida on the desert island.
So the next one's a thinker as well, though. So name a song that sums up your life.
For me, would definitely be "Suspicious Minds" by Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Just because it's just one of those songs that I just feel like my life. I always feel like I'm constantly walking into new situations, new things, and I just always have a problem with trusting the process sometimes. But at the same time, I just don't trust people either, because just given back circumstances, and I'm just such a big Elvis fan. So that song is just forever stuck with me, and it's just one of those songs I just really relate to and sums up me real big time.
What's your
Coach
favorite?
Smoker by Sleep.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with "Limelight" by Rush, just because it kind of describes like how you deal with change. Like, it was a song really about how they were getting recognized and how some of them were having to adjust to it, and it wasn't easy. And I was a pretty quiet person. I still kind of keep to myself a lot. So like when people come up to me every now and then, I can get a little shy with it, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. So it's like that mix of, I enjoy what I do, but like my space, like sometimes it, I don't mean creep out. It just like catches me off guard a little bit. Like I kind of relate to that and really live like that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, then Jordan, tell me what is your favorite Elvis song? And I see you trying to.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that last part.
What's your favorite Elvis song? And I see you're trying to get the actual quiff going there as well.
Working on it. I'm gonna have my on the tour run. I'm actually gonna do a really cool special do with it that I'm working on. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess "Suspicious Minds" is the top one. But I'm also a big fan of his earlier work. Like that first album. There's something special about that first album. Like you hear songs like "That's All Right, Mama," and like "Heartbreak Hotel." The rawness of that and just energy of rock and roll, man, it's just, I live in it, man, forever.
Brilliant. Okay, we're getting a little bit of double feedback. It's all right. It's fine. It sounds good. Okay, so can you give us 4 words to describe your band?
Dan?
Heavy modern classic rock.
That's
Beautiful.
Well, there, that's a good one. Okay, so can you tell us what are your plans for the future? You've sort of hit upon it a bit, but if you could be like a mega star and have like a short career, would that be you, or would you rather have a long career as a musician?
I think most of us here probably would, we're here for the long haul. I mean, this is what we love to do. This is what we always, there's no real expiration date for us. I mean, for us, it's like, let's build this into the biggest brand we can and continue to keep putting music out and tour the world.
Brilliant.
It's the whole point. You want to do it as long as you can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, then. It's actually coming back on me. It's really weird. It's like saying what I'm saying and it's coming back. Anyway, right, let's go for it. So the next one is 5 questions. Vinyl or digital? Vinyl or digital?
Oh, I go vinyl all day. Huge vinyl.
I think I remember I talked to George about this. I think when we went to Record Store Day when I was down in Nashville with us. When you buy a vinyl or a CD, you feel like you own something. So it's like I feel like I got something from the artist. So I always enjoyed that. I still collect CDs and all that. I'm actually running out of room for them again. But I always just feel I have something versus just clicking a button and doing it online. So it's like, yes, it's convenient, but at the same time, having a CD, it's a different feeling. It really is.
And that's why with this new album, we wanted to kind of bring that like kind of experience back. And that's why we're going to have our album in record stores all over the world. And we have a link to it in our link tree on our Instagram and everything. You just put your zip code in, and it'll tell you the closest record store that has it. And you can, go in there and buy the actual CD. Because for us, like, that's how we grew up, listening to records. You go to a record shop, you buy the CD the day it comes out, and you dive into it. And that's something we really wanted to do with this, because being a band that's really trying to do that authentic rock and roll vibe and that feel, and that's who we are, you got to have that authentic experience with the record too.
That's brilliant. Do you feel the same as well, Dan? Yeah? Too good, you're going to
Well, yeah, I definitely prefer that. You definitely feel like you get a piece of art from the artist with that. And I still remember like looking in the newspapers or looking online, just being excited. Oh, when's this band going to release their next album or whatever? So I can run up the street to Best Buy and grab that or whatever, Yeah. So, yeah, digital's, it's convenient, but there's nothing like having a physical thing.
Small intimate gig or festival?
Definitely, I'll take an intimate gig if it's got the right crowd, over a festival any day. Even though I love to play festivals, if you have that crowd of, like, let's say 100 people, and they live and breathe your music, there ain't nothing better.
Absolutely.
Quality over quantity, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not a festival audience, but I'd take the intimate, romantic feeling.
That's a tough one, because that could go either way. Because at the same time, I don't know. You could just walk around the festival and see what else is going on,
I mean, I'll say this thing just from, I used to go to Warped Tour every year when I was in America, and there were times where I was like interested in a band. I would walk by for like 3 minutes and listen to them, and then I would walk to the next thing. But like, as an artist, that's frustrating because you want to have your audience engaged the whole time you're performing. So I understand both parts of that. Yeah, you get to see everything, but you don't really connect like fully. I mean, you do with people, but not as much as you'd like. Absolutely. In some situations.
So, I mean, I'm still doing my 5 questions, but I'm going to ask you. So what about tours? Festivals in the States where you live? Is there a big scene where you are?
Festivals are huge out here in America. Like, we have ones like Carolina Rebellion, Fort Rock, Welcome to Rockville, Louisville Rock. I mean, they're all over the country, and it's definitely like
keeps going.
Yeah, the list goes. It's one of those things where it's hard to get on as a younger band because you got to have the right backing and things like that. But it's definitely something that we do want to get onto. But right now, for us, our big goals right now, is to hit the road and tour as much as possible, and we can get to those opportunities.
And get over to the UK and play Download or Bloodsport.
That's my dream right there. Download, man. I love that festival.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so the next question then. Are you saints or sinners?
Sinners. That's easy.
I feel it's like a fine line. You have to sit in the sin category to kind of do this a little bit. I don't know. I think I'm more on the sinner line than the saint line. I kind of like near the middle, but I'm more on the sinner side, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, this helps. Got the cross.
Don't.
Same here. Yeah.
That was funny, Dan. No hesitation. One question to get asked.
Okay. So the next one. Are you slave to the grind or a skinny bop?
Ooh.
Ooh.
What if you fell in love with the grind?
Fair enough.
Because that's me. I love the grind. But I mean, I find it fun. But, I guess.
I feel like
you kind of get into it, and the rest of it.
While the grind kind of sucks into what makes you better, I feel like so.
Okay, so I'm a big Skid Row fan. I'm going off again from the 5th question. I'm a big Skid Row fan. Are you Skid Row fans?
Love them.
Yes.
Love them.
I know who they are. I haven't listened so much.
Sebastian Bach is fucking amazing, and also he has my name. So yeah. Have you heard the new Skid Row? And what do you think?
Yes,
I love it, man. It's the first song they
Nice
put
voice.
out that they've gone back to the original like roots. I'm a big Sebastian Bach like fan as a vocalist. And
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I
brilliant.
suppose I need to go listen to that.
Yeah, you need.
Yeah,
to.
the vocals are really good on it, and honestly, like big comeback for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. So there's me telling everyone I'm not going to go and see them when they play up here in Newcastle. I'm going to probably sneak in and wear sunglasses or something so I don't get recognised.
No one knows you're there.
Yeah, I'm a big Sebastian Bach fan, so yeah, I'll be wearing sunglasses and a hoodie. Okay, so the final question: heaven or hell?
Hell.
I'll take heaven.
There's a stairway to heaven and a highway to hell for a reason. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you got to climb up the stairs. My legs are going to be burning by the end of that. Fuck that. Just,
No,
take the
stairway
highway.
is in less traffic. Highway is in a lot of traffic.
We got a real angel and demon.
Yeah, but physical labor going up the stairs, man.
How long's the highway? You got?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to have a good time the whole way.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, like I say, as soon as you get, I want to hear the album. I want to review it and everything. I want to thank you for your time. Do you have anything to say to your fans, our viewers, listeners? Well, tell us.
Yeah. So our debut album's coming out July 22nd on Dioptima Records through Rocket Records. It's going to be a really special record. Definitely, just like if you want to know what we're all about, this is it. We have a video dropping that same day for a brand new song as well called Ghost Dance. Definitely want to check that out. And we're hitting the road this summer, and definitely this is not going to be like one of those things where you don't hear from us after this. It's, we're already talking about new music, more touring,
Of the world, hear this tune, give it a whirl. The time is now to break the trance and do an Apache devil dance. Restless view filled with power, Frankenstein's of the witching hour. Bloodshot eyes, fatigued and lost, praying for the morning at all costs. The clock strikes 12 and